Plenty of people have been asking me why all I'm talking about on this channel is Mario 64 or when my optimized Mario 64 is releasing. After all, it has been 2 years since I uploaded my video about more than doubling the FPS in Mario 64. And wow, I've really been leaving you guys in the dark about what I'm actually doing on this channel here and when you can get your hands on the optimized source code. The truth is, I'm actually not a retro game commentary channel. I'm actually developing my own N64 game that I want to optimize as much as physically possible. And the videos I upload are just videos about cool stuff I find along the way about the Nintendo 64 or Mario 64 while I'm working on my game. So when I upload a video about N64 sine polynomials, it means I found a real, practical performance improvement for my own game. Developing my game was and will always be my top priority. This entire YouTube channel is just the marketing phase for my N64 game. Take a look at this. This is Mario Sunshine running on real N64 hardware. It's slightly lower poly than its GameCube counterpart, but there are no optimizations like culling applied to the level yet. Yet it runs better than the vanilla Mario 64 levels. This has been possible because of all the new cool tech and advancements me and other N64 developers found while working on this project. And the most exciting part, I'm currently developing an entire game with this new technology that I'd love to tell you guys about. It's got an entirely new engine tailored to getting the absolute most out of the N64, and every single asset has been remade and optimized. I always used to think the gap between the N64 and the GameCube was the biggest gap between console generations ever. With this, I'm hoping to somewhat bridge that gap. I've been holding off on showcasing too much here on YouTube because, well, no one wants to see spoilers. As a creator, I also don't want to spoil the whole game. And as a YouTuber, making videos so many people want to avoid watching is just depressing.
Let's go! It changes per level. And one intro cutscene, just like an OT. To showcase the level, let the player know how beautiful it is.
I know it's been quite some time since I've started developing this, but this game has easily 4 times more content than Mario 64, and I've spent a considerable amount of time polishing up my early levels to my own satisfaction. And I'm just one guy with some help from Bioback for 3D models and Badoop and ZeroVolt for music. I assure you, we are working on important features such as Mario's nose jiggle physics, and reworking the first level 4 times, and reworking every single Mario 64 actor, and yeah, that's the level of polish I want from this game. And I hear you say, it will never be done, just another dev stuck in eternal limbo. But just hold off on that for a second. I'm sure I can convince you that I'm not stuck in eternal development limbo. I'm currently planning to release another demo of Course 1 soon, so you can see all the improvements I've made over the last few years for yourself in a few weeks. So you'll know for a fact that I'm not just talking out of my ass when I'm talking about the N64 performance measures and tech advancements I'm going to talk about in this video. A lot of you were asking for an optimized Mario 64 version to release, and I do hope to get to that eventually. But for now, I'm still finding new stuff and implementing it in my engine. So really, we would be doing the work twice if I started on an optimized vanilla Mario 64 right now. Since my complete rewrite of the Mario 64 engine back in 2022, I found so much new stuff. I managed to get my test scene all the way up to 20 FPS in vanilla, to 42 FPS after the first rewrite, to 60 FPS through much work in 2023, and then I decided to rework the level to make it much better looking, with more detail, unlimited drawing distance, high resolution textures, and more animated actors running around, which dropped it to 36 FPS. And after that, I found even more improvements, implemented an entire new polygon rendering engine, Soren's F3DX3, which by the way brings a ton of cool new features that deserved an entire separate video, and got the game back up to 50 FPS again. One day I'll make a video about all the new optimizations. I'm actually really excited to share all this knowledge. It will be a lot more insane than the last video, and will probably be an entire hour of programming talk, but you'll like it. If you do the math, this new engine is now about 10 times as powerful as the vanilla Mario 64 engine, or about twice as powerful as my engine was in 2022. People tell me this looks like a GameCube or Wii era game sometimes, and I'm not sure if I agree. Maybe if the output resolution was 4 times higher, yeah, I can see it. So what is the holdup? Well, there are still more improvements I can think of and want to implement. I expect another 10% performance improvement just from the stuff I already know to implement. And who knows what other cool stuff we'll find that I don't even know of yet. The game is now actually optimized to the point where this is, to the best of my knowledge, the first N64 game ever to not be memory bottlenecked. Rather, we are now RSP bottlenecked. The RAM bus is finally vroom-vrooming to its heart's desires. If you look at any forum online, everyone will tell you the N64 was held back by its slow memory so much, and even I thought this was the ultimate bottleneck. Well, my game's memory is now so optimized that this is no longer the case. That's going to open up a whole new world of microcode optimizations, similar to what Factor 5 did back in the day with the Star Wars games. Alright, but why do I even care about optimizing the game that much? It's simple. It's part of the art. I want this game to run as well as possible, just because that is what I want to make. Having it run this well lets me also use more expensive effects, such as this normal mapping effect right here, more polygons, more lively world, better everything. The technical accomplishment itself of having the game run so well is valuable to me. And it's not just optimizations I've still got to work on. The game I'm developing is still missing some content. I've currently finished 12 out of 15 levels, and the last few levels are all about 2/3 done. And again, the game has around 4 times as much content as the vanilla Mario 64 game, so it's still going to be a while before it's fully finished. Plus, there will still be a beta testing phase, so don't get too excited just yet. Another thing I've been putting in a lot of work on is improving Mario's feel. I have about 100 little physics tweaks that I've made that would feel really hard to go back on. Mario still controls and moves the same, but a lot of minor issues are gone. You probably won't be able to tell the difference just from seeing Mario move, but once you play the demo, you will absolutely feel it. I'm hoping once this mod here is done, people will base new mods on my engine and my physics, and Mario 64 mods as a whole will be improved. Everything in this game has been overhauled at this point. Even details like the HUD, the text font, the loading times, loading animations, the sound engine. Basically, if you can think of it, it's been remade to run better and allow for higher fidelity. Once all of the work on this project is done, I plan to start a collaborative effort to backport optimizations and improvements to the original game. That means going open source with this entire project. At this point, it would actually be easier to port Mario 64 to my engine rather than my engine to Mario 64. Hopefully, we can open up a community project for people to help port all the levels and actors back to this engine. I'm sure we can get the entire vanilla Mario 64 game running at stable 60 FPS pretty easily. A community-made Mario 64 version 1.1 would be awesome. I hope you guys can stay patient. I still can't give you a release date. While working on this project, I took a job in modern game development and became a dad. Life is unpredictable like that.
Hey, baby.
This project is too big to say when exactly it will be done, and I really want this to be a great game. So why should you trust me to actually get this game done? Well, I have a track record of over 100 finished projects, some of them taking multiple years. So really, you would be insane to doubt my ability to finish this game at this point. Really, the majority of the work is finished already. I'm really glad with all the progress that's been made so far. I actually do have a second channel, Kaze Clips, where I showcase small new features I work on twice a week and stream my work on this game at least once a week. I also analyze the levels I've been working on over there in longer videos to try and see what works and what doesn't work. Considering the circumstances, development is actually being made pretty quickly if you ask me. I hope hearing about all the time and effort that goes into something like this does not disappoint you, but rather makes you excited for this game. I'm certainly excited to see everyone play it. Until then, you will just have to wait, because I won't release this game until it's finished. Too bad. And you shouldn't want me to release it before it's finished either. Just let me work in peace. You don't want another 2016 release year situation. We've been over all of this before. Having people badger you about release dates really is the worst part about making games.
Do you want me to stop recording? Alright.
Shoutouts to all my Patreons for your continued support. I won't let you down, and I will make the best game I possibly can. Your support means a lot and is what pushes me to make these update videos. If I'm going to be honest, I'd rather just sit in a cave with no internet and make video games all day, but I do need to keep my audience up to date. See you guys in the next video, and come to find out what other cool tricks the N64 is capable of.